Hey everybody, this is Brian with Studio Quality Drum Tracks here in Arvada, Colorado. And I am going to take you on a tour here of my snare drums. I see a lot of guys doing this. And, I thought, why not? I'm going to do it also. So here's my snare drums that I own and use. Let's just start here. This is a Remo PTS. It's a 4x12. Kind of a kid snare, and it has the snare wires on the bottom here that you can tighten up using this knob here. It's kind of a kid's drum, but very cool, unique sound. Next to that is a Ludwig. This is a super sensitive 6.5 Ludwig super sensitive from the mid 60s, about 65 or so. And then we have a Ludwig standard aluminum snare, very similar to an acrolite. That's probably early 70s. A WFL, 5.5 inch, I believe, 8 lug. A couple of Kent snare drums here. This is a 5-inch deep Kent with rounded over bearing edges that I did. This one is a 5.5 inch, also with 8 lugs. I cut the edges on these as well. This was a little sharper. So these two sound different, but they're very cool old Kent snares. And then we got, the mighty Black Beauty, 6.5 Black Beauty from the late 80s. That is actually, I believe, bronze and not brass. Next to that, and I got a bad light splash here, sorry. This is a 10x14 Slingerland marching snare. It's called a, what is it? Legion Air. Legion Air, kind of a cheap marching snare. This is a cool one, very unique. This is a 6-lug Ludwig Vistalite. Very unique sound, very cool. And then here is a Beverly snare. Now Beverly was a kind of a British stencil company. So they made, there was Beverly, and then there was another company called Ajax in the 60s that made kind of cheap drums. This is a Beverly, and it's got six lugs, but it doesn't really have lugs. It's just, there's no lugs. It's just tension rods here. So this gives off a really cool, I don't know how to describe it, kind of a 6-lug sound, which is a little bit grittier. And it's a 4-inch, 4x14. Let's see, coming down this way here, this is another mighty Ludwig, bunch of Ludwigs here. This is a hammered bronze, 6.5 hammered bronze from the mid 90s. This is a really old, probably, well, not really old, 1977 Ludwig 3x13 Piccolo, 6 lugs. And another 6 lug, this is a mid 60s, 1964 Ludwig Pioneer. This is a 5-inch Black Beauty B stock. Pretty modern, that's about 2 or 3 years old. Can't really see it. This is a clear Vistalite, about 1974, 10 lugs. This is a Ludwig Supralite, and this is 5x15 instead of 4, 5x15. So it's a 15-inch diameter snare, steel. Yamaha 7-inch recording series, mid 80s or so. The venerable 5-inch Ludwig Supraphonic. This one is a 4x14 Joe Montanari maple shell, DW 5.5x14 maple shell with wood hoops. And then another Piccolo over here. This is a 3x13 Pearl with 8 lugs, and that's maple. All right, and then down here, okay, this is really screwy. This is a little kid's drum that I just got for no reason. It's kind of like the first one I showed you, where the snares are, kind of on the bottom here. Well, inside the drum, same thing here. It's just a little kid thing, whatever. Up next, the acrolite. Ludwig Acrolite. This is from about 1970, and it has, it's a blank badge, so no serial number. Next to that is a 5.5 by 13, and this is basically a custom-made drum. It wasn't custom-made for me. I bought this used, and I can never find any info on it, other than, if you look in here, the interesting thing, it's got this kind of a cat panther logo and a little bit of a serial number there, and the date, I don't know if you could read it, looks like 2003. July of 2003. Cool drum. The Pearl 7 by 12 maple. This is my main snare I used for years for live playing. And then next to that is a Tempro, made in Japan, like a 5.5 by 14. Haven't really messed with this thing too much. It's actually, the bearing edges are what they are. Haven't played with it too much, but it sounds really good. Yamaha Steel, a 5.5 by 14. Kind of a mid-level, semi-pro snare. This goofy thing, this is a Mastro, and this is made of plastic, entirely made of plastic. The only thing that isn't plastic are the tension rods and the little nuts inside of here that the tension rods screw into. But this is all plastic. The lugs and the head, or the heads, yeah, the rims and the lugs, the shell, all made of plastic. This is a kid's thing. It sounds awful, and that's what you want. That's what I like about it. It's very lo-fi, very one-trick pony. Here's another kind of a semi-pro snare, which is a D-drum made of Adler wood, or alder wood, I guess. Alder is sort of a cousin of birch. Not a bad sounding drum. And then the last here, I'm getting splash again. Oh boy. This is pork pie, 6.5 brass, nickel over brass. That's kind of their version of the Black Beauty. That is it. I believe I have 30 snare drums. I use them all when I can, if the situation calls for it. So that is it, kids. Thanks for watching, and rock on and have a great day.